Well, hey, Fullness. It's good to be with you today. And this week I was thinking, as we are well into the month of June, it made me realize that we are almost to the halfway mark of the year 2020. And one of the things that I do with the Fullness Kids every January is I encourage each child to seek the Lord and to ask Him for a word for 2020, a word to stand on. And then we also look at Luke 2:52 that says, "And Jesus increased in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and man." And so then as a group, we try to write some goals as to how we can grow like Jesus grew in each of those areas. And I know many of you do that as well. You set goals for 2020. And so usually in children's church around this time, I would be bringing this back up to the Fullness Kids and asking them, do you even remember what that word was that God gave you for 2020? Or what were some of those goals? And how are you doing on those goals? And so I just posed that same question to you today, to just do some thinking and some reflecting about what was that word that God gave you for 2020, or what were some of the goals that you had? Because as we get to the end of the summer, it seems like everybody asks us that same question when they see us. What did you do this summer? How did you spend your time? What did you accomplish? What did you learn? How many books did you read? And so in order to have good answers to those questions, we have to put a plan in place today and make steps to reach our goals. And I know for me, I need to take some games off of my iPad. And so instead of me spending my downtime just playing these games, I really want to use my time to listen to a Bible study or a podcast, or to just sit before the Lord in silence and more time in prayer. And so I just want to encourage you to be thinking along those lines. And also I wanted to share one last thing with you. Was just recently the Fullness Women did an online Bible study on the life of Joseph. And the writer did a lesson on years of suffering, and then another one on the years of abundance. And when she was talking about the years of abundance, she was asking the question, what are you doing with your good years? And by good years, she meant those years when you're healthy, those years when you're making a little bit of extra money and you have some to spare, or those years when you do have a house with some extra space in it that could be used for something, or any of your giftings. And what are you doing with your good years? I want to share this quote with you. She says, "Arriving wherever you're going, looking more like Jesus, is a destination in and of itself. Wherever we're headed isn't nearly as thrilling as reflecting Him when we get there." I thought that was such a great perspective to have as we think about where we are and how are we spending our good years, and how are we using our time, our resources, and our gifts to be a blessing and to grow His kingdom. So I hope those are some good thoughts for you to think on today. Love you.